We're back to the Neil Haley Show, and this makes me so excited. Pittsburgh proud. The NFL draft in Pittsburgh. I never would have thunk it. That's a term. And our guest today is David Pollack. He's an award-winning football voice, uh, seven-time Emmy Award-winning analyst. David, thanks for stopping by. But you have been absolutely amazed because I'm sure you've been to Pittsburgh. And again, we thank PNC for this opportunity to have this interview. Tell me how crazy it is in Pittsburgh right now to have the
Well,
NFL draft.
first of all, I love that you said thunk it. So who'd have
Yeah.
thunk it? You're speaking my southern twang already. But no, it's the largest event that Pittsburgh's ever hosted. So PNC, obviously, PNC Bank is one of the best in the business, and they're hosting it here. The taste of the draft, all that stuff will go down right here. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be enormous. If you've been to this city, holding that over 700,000 people, it's going to be fun to see how it's done. But the traffic will be, it'll be plentiful, I promise.
Well, Pittsburgh, if David, I'm sure you've been to Pittsburgh before, the traffic in Pittsburgh is horrible always. So it doesn't matter. I couldn't imagine. I think you definitely have to be at one of the events and the amazing things they're talking. And look at me, I'm in Cleveland now talking about this, and I'm like, oh, so I missed out. But let's kind of talk about specifically enough. Some of the things are happening. I see Permane Brothers in the back. You got to love Permane Brothers as well. Oh my gosh. And the Pittsburgh, I think having Pittsburgh, this taste of the NFL draft here is going to have a different type of atmosphere. Don't you agree?
Yeah, when you got the commissioner rolling through and you have the governor and everybody coming through, doing the taste of the draft, I think it's something that everybody likes. Everybody likes good food, and you're going to get a good feel for it here with all the different choices you want to make.
Now, what everyone wants to hear about the draft now.
Yeah.
What are you seeing this year that's going to surprise people about the draft? Again, always, you never know day one to all the days because some of the biggest superstars are on day three, or they're
Yeah,
you don't always the first round draft pick does not end up becoming a superstar.
no, I mean, there's great players in the draft all the way through. You see Mr. Irrelevant with Brock Purdy, right? Still being successful. So it's important for your organization to be ready for all of them. So I think there's great players. The headlines is always day one, right? Like, who is my first round pick? Who's the guy that I want to build, my franchise around? I think it's not the secret's out of the bag, right? Fernando Mendoza is going to be number one. And I think then it's the quarterback position. Does Ty Simpson go in the first round? But defensive, if you're a defensive lineman like me, this is a great draft. There's so many different guys that are impact players, so many different receivers. We've heard a lot about this draft and it being not necessarily the best draft and next year people loading up for. So does that mean there's trades, a lot of trades in this draft and people getting picks for next year because the draft is supposed to be a lot stronger? So there's always wheeling and dealing. There's always some fun stuff. But I think the playmaking positions, you want to get your quarterback, you want to get receivers, you want to get edge rushers. Those are the guys that you're looking to get as fast as possible in the first round.
Exactly. What do you think is the one that's going to be the biggest surprise of the draft in the first round? What are you thinking?
Well, there's a lot of guys that always have the quote unquote fall, right? Like the guy like Ruben Bain. If you watched him at Miami, that dude is a baller. Like, he's such a good player. Love the way he competes. Love the way he has power and the way he rushes the passer. But what it was the same knock with me coming out of college. Like, his arms are too short. Okay, well, does that cause him to drive down the board? Sometimes you've seen it with all different guys that kind of will go down the board a little bit. That's the fun part of the draft is all it takes is one. Right? It just takes one team to fall in love with you, one team to want to draft you, one team to want to trade up. A bunch of teams with multiple picks, like the Cowboys, the Jets, like, do they use that ammunition to go up or do they not use it to go up? And that's the part that's interesting. That's the part that all the experts never know, right? Like, they never
Right.
know the details of what's going to happen. That's why the draft's so much fun to watch, because it's like, wait a minute, another trade. Wait a minute, somebody did this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they took them.
Now, this is the funny part of all this is that I think that the kids are so much more prepared for the draft because of the NIL. They've become more professional in so
Yeah.
many ways. What have you seen the differences since the NIL has been implemented to now and how these kids are coming out to the draft compared to before?
Well, a lot of these teams are always like, what are they going to do when they get the money? Right? Like, what is this kid going to do when he gets life-changing money? Well, NIL, they're getting life-changing money in college. So now I think that's a box that people can check and be like, all right, he got paid a lot of money in college, but still competed at a high level. And so when you're trying to find character kids and different things, I think NIL kind of accentuates it, right? Because we've heard it, right? Mo money, mo problems. Well, these kids now, they're not hurting as much, right? Like when I was in school, you got like a bagel for a meal. You couldn't even get cream cheese with it because it was a violation. Now, these kids are living a little bit different with where they're eating and with their choices. So I think it's a good thing for teams. They can assess it a little bit easier.
Okay, let's talk Pittsburgh Steelers because you're in Pittsburgh. What do they need to do to change their, 9-7, 10-7, 9-8 chances to go with the draft as a way to really move forward and be a competitor for the Super Bowl?
Well, isn't it kind of interesting too? Like you had Cowher for so long, Tomlin for so long, and now you have McCarthy, who's not in the same mold. I definitely think of Tomlin, I think of defense. I think of Cowher, I think of defense. McCarthy, you think of offense. And this is an offense with Pittsburgh that I think since I was playing and chasing around Ben Roethlisberger, they've been looking for that guy. Like who's the guy at quarterback? Will Howard last year they got from Ohio State. Developmental guy. Obviously, you saw Aaron Rodgers. He was in my draft, so he's not young anymore. It's been a long time. So I think how do they find weapons? How do they create some explosiveness on offense? Pittsburgh fans have loved the steel curtain and defense and being known for that. I think they would love to have more explosiveness on offense too. And signing Pittman in the offseason, you got Metcalf obviously here, some other speed guys to go with him because they're going to throw the football and try to have more explosiveness.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I think that's you're going to see in this McCarthy era, that you're going to start seeing more and more offense, which will be very different for Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Well, and then if the defense slips, everybody be like, wait a minute, what the heck's going on? I want more defense. I'm as curious as anybody to see with McCarthy because it didn't feel like a Steelers hire, right? Like it just didn't feel like you're used to them going with a young, defensive-minded guy, a guy that is going to be there for 20 years because the Steelers do business better than everybody or better than a lot of people, right? Like they find their coach, they support him, and they stick around for a long time. McCarthy obviously being a little bit older, offensive side of the football, a little bit different, but the fans will love their squad either way here. And playing here, the terrible towels will be out, and people will support their squad.
Who's going to be the first-round pick?
Man, I don't know, but if I'm the Steelers, there's a couple directions. Do they get in the quarterback market? That would be really, really interesting. I think Ty Simpson's going to be the guy that people are going to target to move up. How high do you move up for him? Because the bottom line, whatever you like, Kenny Pickett a few years ago, obviously, like people, there's a need for that. And when you get him in the first round, you get the 5th year. So are they a team that can get back up and get quarterback? But I think that finding weapons, receivers, tight ends, those are the weapons they'll find on offense. So they have some guys they can build it around and have some guys they can throw to no matter who's playing quarterback. Because it might be Will Howard for this year. That might be a bridge, a stopgap. And then next year's class with quarterbacks are going to be really, really loaded. A lot of people will be talking about them, and there'll be multiple guys as opposed to this year's draft where there's really only one that everybody wants.
All right, let's talk Cleveland just because I'm in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, what do you see him being a top NFL quarterback, and do you think he's going to get the right people around him in this draft?
Well, I don't. I think Shedeur's good. Now, I saw some things from Shedeur, I think, that makes you think he could possibly be a guy that you could continue to build around. But he had a lot of the things coming out that refusal to step up in the pocket. But let's be honest. Cleveland's had 8 left tackles in the last 3 years. Like, they had the worst production from the wide receiving unit in the NFL, period. So it's really hard to judge Shedeur and tell me like he's not going to be very good. Remember, Deshaun Watson's coming back as well. He hadn't played significant snaps in a couple of years, but like you have a wide receiver room that's not competent. It needs to get better. It needs to grow. Judy was the only guy really that was productive. So get some help on the offensive line, get some help at receiver. Now we're taking away the excuses for whoever's going to play quarterback for the squad.
Okay. Now, are you a Permane Brothers sandwich? Do you love Permane Brothers? I love their sandwiches. What is your favorite?
Well, first of all, I've never had it. So this will be a first for me today. So I'm learning too. Listen, I played for the Bengals, so I'm not from Pittsburgh, but I've been here several times, obviously, but looking forward to digging in though.
Okay. All right. Well, people can check out information about the draft and everything and find out information on you, David. Where can they go?
You can go to I do the See Ball, Get Ball podcast. We'll be covering a lot of the stuff with the draft. You can find us there, man.
All right. Appreciate it. And enjoy a Permane Brothers sandwich. And go with the traditional first, man.
That's
Go
your
with the
recommendation?
traditional. You
That's
got to
your
go.
pick for the draft?
Yeah, that's my pick for the draft. Go with the traditional. We really appreciate it, David. And thanks again for all the time. And it's such a great thing to Pittsburgh proud. I'm Pittsburgh proud right now. And I hope we have a fantastic draft. And thanks again, David, for stopping by.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.